We had an opening meeting to start off the year, and some students came up and spoke about their experiences with the ASB and how they had the idea of starting an ASB trip for the Goodnight program. I went to the intro session for that, and just for basic protocol, Adam had to go through all of the trips just through this basic PowerPoint, and I was pretty set on going on the Goodnight trip, but when Adam went through the presentation, he came across Alaska, ASB Alaska, and how the service focus was for youth education. And that's something that is extremely important to me, and it always has been. I've always tutored, I've always loved working with kids, I've always loved teaching, and that's actually going to be hopefully my long-term career path, but nonetheless, I saw that as a perfect fit for me. Just in that's something I'm so passionate about, and that the service trip, the enrichment trip, fit that perfectly. My first year going on ASB Alaska really exposed me to a lot that you don't get to hear about, and one of the main ones is the importance of the native culture in the community. And that's something that you can read about, that's something that you can be told, but it's not something that you can really understand or even come close to understanding until you're there and you immerse yourself in the culture. Sitting back from Raleigh, I was already thinking about, okay, I'm going on a trip for youth education, in which we'll be able to work in schools, and then I'll be able to encourage them to follow the same exact path I did, work hard in high school, go to college. But what that trip exposed me to was how it doesn't necessarily work. I started realizing that they have so much funding. They have smart boards, they have iPads, they have all these things that schools want to be able to enhance education, but that means there's still something missing. And through being able to talk to the community, to hear about their past, hear about what's important to them, what they value, and how their culture really presents itself, I was able to realize that it was the educational system that really missed the mark on addressing this kind of culture and this kind of people. The main memories I have is kind of broken down to two main categories, and that's like just your experiences with the community and then your experiences with your team. And mainly, like with ASB Alaska, there's just so much room for flexibility each year that the experiences are entirely different. And so you're working in the schools for the majority of the day, but then afterwards, I mean, you can go to the Boys and Girls Club, you can go cut wood. There's all these abundant, I guess, options you can do to continue those engagements, to continue that exchange. And some of my favorite ones are mainly like in the school. Every year there's been that one teacher that I work with the most that you can just really connect with on a whole new level. You can really just get in their head, see what it's like teaching in Hoonah, a town of 850 people in rural Alaska. What's that like? And some of the challenges they face, some of the solutions they possibly have that they can't necessarily always express, and that's always just so memorable. Just being able to, I remember it was Doc last year, and this year is Mr. Mullet, and I'm never going to forget those experiences and those conversations that we had. But then there's just like those other experiences with just the kids. My first year we had, like when we would go to the Boys and Girls Club, they always played Dance Dance Revolution, I think. And then we'd always have that one team member who would just go all in with the kids and just let loose, and it was always so fun, just encouraging them and bringing a smile to their face. So then after last year, I was really pumped, and I have to go back to Hoonah. So often at NC State, we kind of get caught up in our own little world. It really is a city within a city, and you're in your major, you're studying the things you're going to do for the rest of your life. But what ASB provides is an opportunity to grow in ways you can't just grow in this little bubble. It gives you an opportunity to get out in the world, see other people, experience other communities, get the opportunities to serve people in new capacities that you can't necessarily do in Raleigh. I'm thankful to NC State for allowing me to participate in this program, because it allowed me to discover a passion for service in ways that I never would have been able to find